I spontaneously developed a hatred for wet roads. It's finally here. Man, I've been waiting for this thing for so long. But the worst part is, I have to go to work now. The sky is blue, the roads are dry, and I'm on my way home. Alright, let's build this thing up as fast as possible and get on the road. Alright, I'm completely in my German look here with my white socks. And I think it is unboxing time, which means I should probably get something to cut this open. This should do. Alright, so I've been waiting for this for quite some time now. Because when I was in Prague, I stopped by in Munich, as you might have seen in the video. And Domi, my friend in Munich, is the guy who first introduced me to the Evolve GT, which is what I ended up with. But that he did already at the end of last year, in October, I believe. But when I went to Prague and visited him again, he actually got 97mm wheels, and they were really, really awesome. So I actually waited for like 3 weeks until they got them again, because they're constantly sold out of them. That's why it took so long. And look at that, it's already assembled. Look at that, is 97mm. That's quite the wheels, huh? Ooh, Samuel, that's the remote control. Man. Let's get rid of all this unnecessary stuff first. It's nice and heavy. I don't know how nice it's gonna be later, but for now it feels pretty nice. Alright, here it is. Let's put it upside down for now. Completely wrapped in bubble wrap, which is a good thing. Let's check this out. This is the remote. And the remote is obviously the thing that you're gonna handle the most. Ooh, look at that. It even comes in a case. That is fancy. I mean, this thing is freaking expensive, so I paid like $1,400 for it, just so you get an idea. But this looks nice. And a lot of people complain about this trigger mechanism, but when I used it already, I got pretty used to it, so it wasn't too bad at all. Nice in hand. I definitely need to have this guy on there, because you don't want to lose this thing. If you lose this thing at full speed, there's like no easy way to brake. I mean, you can brake it just like a normal skateboard, obviously, but if you go really fast, this is not easy. And I think you also need to charge the remote separately. Does it have a port? Oh yeah, it does. Micro USB. Awesome. Alright, what's this? What is in the secret box? User's manual. Oh, that's a charger. It's decent size. The thing is, I might have to carry this around when I try to go to work. The range should be good enough, but I'm not quite sure if I can make it to work and back. So I'll probably carry this charger around wherever I go, so I can also plug it in at work. I'm not entirely sure if I can even make it to work yet. I need to try this out. This is one of the tests I have planned. But yeah, looks good. Looks very nice. Feels good. And we got some basic tools that you need if you want to change your wheels, for example. If you want to change into the all-terrain wheels, which cost another $250 if you want to get them, which I don't think I do want to get them yet. I know Domi has the standard 83mm ones. He has the giant all-terrain tires, and he has these now. And he says that these are actually the perfect middle ground, which is also why I decided to go with 97 ones. You can go over some gravel with these, which is nice, but it also feels still very, very smooth on concrete. Just to recap, this is the Evolve Bamboo GT with the ABEC 11 97mm tires. Alright, let's unwrap the sucker now completely. Here it goes. It looks a lot smaller without everything on there. Alright, there's some sort of grippy stuff on there. It's not tape, it doesn't look like tape, it's just almost looks like salt, but obviously it isn't salt because salt would just crumble as soon as you step on it. But Just to give you guys a little bit of background, I am not a skater. I have never owned a longboard. I did, when I was like 15 or so, I did try to skateboard for like half a year, but that's the only experience I have on skateboards. I do snowboard, so I have that going for me, but that is definitely gonna take some practice for me to get really comfortable with. It's good that I had already a little bit of experience, so I know, yes, I will become safe with it if I practice a lot, but for now, I'm going to be very careful. I'm not going to go the fastest mode right off the get-go, and maybe in a couple of weeks, I'll find out what this thing can really do. Alright, let's turn it on and see if it's charged. It's blinking, that's a good sign. Let's turn on the remote. What does it say, guys? I can't see. It says 100% charged. Let me show you around a little bit. We got the Echo mode, which is the second slowest one, but probably the one that I'm going to use the most. Oh, the percentage, oh, that's reset, 100% charge. We got connection, we got the 97mm tires on, that's already programmed the right way. We got the speed, we got the range, oh no, the current trip, which gets reset, I think, every time you turn it off and on again. But I think, if I remember correctly, this is actually saved in the board and not in the remote. Let's take a closer look at the engines. There it went already, because that's another flaw. If I lie down on the ground, it's just gonna go. Let's turn it around real quick. Yeah, sure is going already. Wow. All right, let's turn this off for a second. And here's the interesting part. So the engines are back here, and these things actually rotate, which is a little bit unfortunate, because if you step on it, you're screwed. And oh, they even put the guards on. I wasn't sure if they would do that because of the big tires, but yeah, they put the guards on for the belts, and there are the cables, nice and braided, to the battery pack, which seems good. I know that Domi had some problems with it not being completely attached to the board, but it looks good on first sight. Unfortunately, yeah, because of these engines and because of these holes back here, for example, it's not waterproof, so I will have to avoid every kind of puddle and even wet roads. These tires aren't gonna stay that green, they're gonna turn dark real quick once I get it dirty. But yeah, should we try and take it for a spin? I think we should. At least try it out. I was gonna leave the camera at home to focus on riding and learning how to ride this thing, but I couldn't resist recording at least a little clip with my phone. This is future fate, by the way. My phone stopped recording. Sorry about that. It's like 5 a.m. here. I think it must be 5:30 by now. And I just decided to go out, so hey, let's use the sport to its fullest. Check it out, guys. That's my second one of them. Fluffy. 1000, alright. I'm gonna go for pineapple berries because these guys are so rare. I need every bit of candy I can get. There we go. My reward for getting out at 5 a.m. "6 a.m. the first plane arrives. Just as I'm used to it. I was gonna say I had a good trip out here this morning, but for some reason my remote is not pairing to the board anymore. And that really sucks, because then I can't brake, and I'm not a good enough skateboarder to just go down this hill here and brake on my own. Press and hold for 1 second the left sync button on the remote. Yep, should have read that before. Always read the manual, kids. Today is the day of the ultimate test. I'm gonna see if I can make it to work with this guy. So I am definitely gonna pack the charger. I look at a route, but I haven't actually driven it yet, so that should be interesting. There's about a 100-meter hill climb at the end, which makes me the most nervous. The total distance is about 8 kilometers, a little more than that. Alright, so this is how far I've gotten before, and from now on it's unknown territory. And this is my first obstacle. I'm really glad I have the 97mm tires now. Yeah, it looks like I need to check for an alternative route next time. This is not ideal at all. So much better. Alright, that was maybe 50 meters, so it's not too bad, but I wouldn't want to ride that every day. Never mind 50 meters. The smoothest ride after that little bit of gravel. Holy crap, it's such a difference. This is like heaven. Alright, I'm about 5 kilometers in and there's still, I don't know if you can see it, over 90%. That's not quite accurate because it always depends on how fast you go. But yeah, I think the next 3 kilometers are going to be the deciding factor. And I'm still feeling pretty uncomfortable in all this new territory where I haven't ridden before. But so far, so good. Let's keep trucking. This is it, only uphill from here. Man, this thing is a beast. I have to go to fast mode, but it still goes up there, no problem. And I made it. No sweat, literally. Let's go. Alright, let's check out how my coworker Joao does on the Evolve board.
Okay, first I'm gonna try without
Just rolling on it.
Boring. Uh-oh.
He doesn't. That's a slow mode. Try braking.
Wait, this is too cool.
Yet now, step it up one.
No, come on.
That's echo mode, come on, there's 2 more above that. And echo mode is the one that I usually use.
It was already going back.
Greg's ready. Let's put it to slow for now.
Yes, please.
Alright,
Start slow.
So what?
just try it out. This is braking,
Ah,
and this is, okay. It's like a trigger.
the braking is so anti-natural, you know?
Yeah, you need to really shift
Yeah.
your weight before you brake and before you accelerate.
You're such a fatty.
It does bend a lot. For you too, actually.
Ah.
I don't know, makes me worry a
He's
little
a
bit.
natural.
Look at him go!
He's a
Now try braking.
You're gonna need to brake eventually.
Alright, time for echo mode?
Yes.
Let's see. I think it's very intuitive. Like if you've been on it for like 10 minutes, you automatically feel a lot safer. It's really fast.
But it's nice the way it's already fast enough that you feel the wind going through you. Shit.
Riding with the wind. Nice.
Ah, cool. The motor spins.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun.
Alright, so now we can go to the buses and accelerate a little bit more, huh?
Well,
Well, if the buses are not there.
How fast you go. Fuck,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can check it. I was so concentrated that I survived.
There he goes. You learn it so fast, it's incredible. I'm trying to convince him to buy one too, because then we could ride together, it would be pretty awesome.
I can't really wrap my mind around the braking stuff.
Just shift your weight on your back foot and then brake.
On your back foot.
Yeah. I think it's about time we get back to work. If I can separate him from the board. I really hope he's gonna get one, that would be awesome. There he comes. It is really just an enjoyable experience to just ride along, even if you haven't been on a skateboard for a while. Now he's going downhill. That's when you really have to trust the brakes of the board. He has been riding a longboard though, so he has some experience, more than I, for sure. While I'm on my own here, in other news, I'm trying to get my colleagues used to the cameras a little bit, so maybe we can do some more stuff and people feel less awkward in front of it. That should be fun. 10.8 kilometers to this lake. I wasn't sure if I made it because I was looking for concrete pathways, and most of the pathways that are for bikes are made of gravel here. But I did make it. So let's see, I have, oh, it doesn't say, but I have about 70% battery left. Let's see if I make it back. Made it back with maybe 40, a little less than 40% battery. 19.1 kilometers, but while during the last desync of my remote, I forgot to set the right wheel size. So I'll do the math to the actual distance I made right up there. So yeah, that's definitely my longest ride yet, and I feel fine. All right, I think it is time for a final verdict. I had this board for 2 weeks now, and I have to say I'm still about as happy as I could be. I paid a lot of money for it, but I am having a ton of fun with it as well. I've made it to work maybe 4 or 5 times now with it. No trouble whatsoever. The hills, no trouble. I can make it there and back again and still have about 40 to 50% of the battery left. So everything's pretty beautiful. Of course, the remote could be a little better. When you lie it somewhere, there's always the chance that you accidentally hit this knob here and it will go somewhere. But overall, it feels good. It has a nice display. I did have the desync issue a second time again, and it's not a big deal to resync it. The big deal is that you have to reset what kind of tires or what kind of wheels you have on there every time it desyncs. So that's a bit of a pain in the ass. But other than that, I think I'm pretty fine with it. And as you saw, my colleagues tried it out, and when I tried it out the first time, you learn it really quickly. Even if you don't stand on a skateboard regularly or have in a long time, you get used to it really, really fast. It takes a little bit longer to get comfortable with it on the road with all the other people around, but even that takes a couple of rides and you get super comfortable with it. Of course, always wearing a helmet, that's pretty important, because if something does happen at the speeds that this thing goes, I don't know if I mentioned it, but this thing goes up to like 35 kilometers an hour or even higher, I believe. So yeah, if you should really go top speed, which I rarely do, and then hit a car or whatever, then it can end really badly. But I'm usually just cruising around in eco mode, and maybe on these empty roads that are really, really smooth and really, really nice to ride on, maybe in these cases I go a little bit faster. But other than that, I can definitely recommend anyone to get one of those. The downside of this is it is not waterproof yet, and I hope in the future there will be versions that are waterproof. I know when the road is wet, you shouldn't be riding a skateboard in any case because it's just too slippery, but not to be scared of sudden rain or maybe just a puddle would help a lot just on your mind. But other than that, I think it's pretty good.